my name is Hollts and I play a Reaper on the EU servers. Today I'll be sharing some footage of my Power Quickness Reaper build, both in PvP and World vs. World. For more details on the build and the gameplay, please see the description below. This video format was inspired by a content creator called Yishis. His channel link is also in the description below. This video will aim to explain my train of thought while playing the game and give some advanced tips for Power Reaper players. In this first clip, you see me attack a River Drake in order to get some life force. I then drop my Flesh Worm so that I can get out of a sticky sword situation if needed. I noticed a Revenant standing on top of the hill that I had fought earlier, and I knew he was quite squishy, so I attack him first and quickly cleave him with Shroud number 4. I then decide to cleave this area and drop Nightfall, which is the Greatsword number 4 skill. I then notice that the other enemies, a Tempest, Holosmith, Revenant, and Soul Beast, were drawing near, so I decide to teleport out and attack the Revenant, who is quite low, from the side and cleave him out before the enemies can res him. I then kite with Shroud number 2 and line of sight behind this building. I try to pull the Ranger, but instead pull his pet, but I decide to use Greatsword number 3 in order to get some life force from the pet. I re-engage and try to damage the Holosmith and Tempest who are killing the camp supervisor. I leave a Flesh Worm, use Axe number 3, teleport back in, and manage to down the Tempest. I then use Shroud number 4 to also down the Holosmith, and I'm thus left to auto-attack the Soul Beast. He stuns me, but after I stun break, I quickly use Grasping Darkness and Gravedigger to down him with a 13k Gravedigger. At this point, there are 3 downed enemies attacking me, and the first Revenant that I killed has returned. I, due to a lucky auto-attack critical hits, managed to down him, and I then line of sight again behind the building in order to avoid dying. I leave a Flesh Worm, heal, use Chill to the Bone to stop the Soul Beast pet from rezzing the Soul Beast, and apply poison using Shroud number 4. The Tempest, however, has rezzed himself, but due to a Grasping Darkness and Gravedigger combo, I managed to down him. At this point, I'm left to kill the remaining downed enemies and revive the camp supervisor. This clip shows the importance of kiting and avoiding damage while in outnumbered situations. In this next clip, you see me and my friend engage a Scourge and a Soul Beast, which quickly get taken out by my Shroud number 4 and Focus number 5 skills, which did a lot of critical damage. We then continue our quest to North Camp, but upon spotting the sentry, noticed an enemy Zerg. I, being the lazy Guild Wars player that I am, did not have the War Claw unlocked at this moment, and thus am forced to rely on my utility skills to escape the Zerg. As you can see, I drop a Flesh Worm behind me, and then activate my Spectral Walk. Once the enemy Zerg stunned me and engaged on me, I first use Spectral Walk to return to my initial position, and then teleport to my Flesh Worm. This teleported me a good 2500 units back, and allowed me to juke and escape the enemy Zerg. My friends were quite praising of me, and I thought that this was a nice demonstration of showing the usage when you link teleports, aka Spectral Walk and Flesh Worm. In this next clip, you see me engaging an enemy camp. I first aim to kill all the NPCs, but unfortunately and surprisingly find myself surrounded by 3 enemy players who CC me into a corner. After using Death Charge and my Reaper Shroud to get away, I leave a Flesh Worm to juke the enemies and be able to kite to the other house. At this point, it's worth mentioning that as a Reaper in these sticky situations, you really need to rely on line of sight and well-placed teleports to survive. Additionally, well-timed dodges are crucial, since Reapers do not have many evades and also do not have access to Vigor. I continue to line of sight around this building, but know that I'm low on health and have very little cooldown, so I need to make a run for it. I then kite to the other hills where I can exploit my vertical mobility by the forms of Flesh Worm and Spectral Walk. Upon getting there, I exploit the Soul Eater bug, which allows me to heal 12k of health, due to being healed from the damage you do to ambient creatures. I again juke the enemies with Spectral Walk and get a little bit of a breather. At this point, it's worth mentioning that I'm chased by a Holosmith, Scrapper, and Thief. Obviously, the Thief is the squishiest of the 3, so I will need to down him first. But first, I need to isolate him. I do this by trying to kite some more and force the enemies to follow me. It's important to mention that you cannot always be certain of winning a fight. You need the proper conditions. You need someone who is down so that you can cleave upon them. You need to isolate someone. You need to use line of sight. You need to get out of combat and regenerate health. And these are all very important. You cannot simply run into a 3v1 and expect to win. So what I try to do is kite some more and isolate the thief, which follows me into this little corner. He tries to engage me solo, and I drop a Nightfall, get a lucky Gravedigger off, which does 9k damage, pull him with Greatsword number 5, chill him with Chill to the Bone, and finish him off with auto attacks. At this point, obviously, the Scrapper and Hollowsmith are going to try and res him, so I engage again, fear the Scrapper, and use Shroud number 4 in order to apply poison. The thief has teleported away, but I know the location, so I Gravedigger on sight to apply lots of damage. The Hollowsmith uses rifle number 4 to push me away, so I use Fleshworm again to drop a Nightfall and cleave again on location. At this point, the Scrapper's also down, and I'm just left to take care of the Hollowsmith using axe number 2. This clip again shows the importance of kiting, juking, and using clever tricks such as killing ambient animals to regain health. You need to use all available resources in an outnumbered situation to win, and that includes exploiting vertical mobility, little bugs in the game, and playing wisely. In this next clip, me and my friend are engaged by a Revenant and a Druid. My friend and I kite away to the top of this hill and force our two opponents into a choke point. As soon as they follow us onto this choke point, we turn around and engage them with Reaper Shroud and big damage, and manage to down the Revenant and get the Druid quite low, but the Revenant is not completely down yet. I tried to assist by dropping a Nightfall upon the hill, but unfortunately it did not hit anything. Once the Revenant has been killed, a Dragon Hunter joined the fight. I then tell my friend to run away because we are both low on cooldowns and health, and the Dragon Hunter can be a serious threat to us. I'm able to heal and use my Fleshworm to kite away, but my friend is being engaged upon, so I quickly turn back, use Chill to the Bone, and get a lucky 10k Gravedigger off, and manage to somehow kill the Dragon Hunter, even to my own surprise. At this point, the Druid has stealthed him, but due to the Revenant reveal, we managed to completely kill the Dragon Hunter and down the Druid. Lastly, a Scourge joins the fight, but due to my CC and the Revenant's help, we managed to down him quite quickly. In this next fight, you will see me 1v1 a Revenant. I always like to use focus number 5 in order to strip those boons, apply chill, and do usually 5 or 6,000 damage depending on whether it crits or not. I know this is a good Revenant player since I've fought him before, so the playstyle is quite unusual. He doesn't engage directly and is very patiently. I myself try to combat this by being even more patient. I get a lucky Shroud number 3 off and manage to get a ton of damage in using Shroud number 4. He however counters this by using Sword number 5 to do a lot of damage. I use Spectral Walk to teleport back and now patiently wait while he is obviously going to teleport to me since he is using the Assassin Legend. I managed to counter his first teleport, but he drops down and waits again to teleport. At this point, you saw him patiently standing still for a second, which usually means that they will try to use a Staff 5. I then use my Chill to the Bone skill and finish him off with a quick Reaper Shroud number 4. In this next fight, I'll be 1v1ing a Scrapper. The Scrapper was quite tanky and kited very well. For example, you can see him at this point using this kite spot, which makes it very difficult for me to hit him. He leaves the kite spot, and I then follow up by using a Greatsword skill number 5 to pull him right during his hammer number 3 animation. I get some auto attacks in, fear him, use Death Charge, and get a lucky Gravedigger in, which does 9k damage, and I managed to down him quite quickly. This just demonstrates that sometimes it does take a little bit of luck to win the game, because I definitely did not calculate my Greatsword skill number 5 interrupting his leap. In this next fight, I will stress the importance of patience. It is always very, very important to know what skills your opponent has used and what they have to their ability. For example, in this clip, the enemy Reaper just left a full death shroud, which means that he is pretty vulnerable for 10 seconds unless he has teleports or stability. This means that he's very vulnerable to damage for the next coming 10 seconds since he will have to take everything. The only defenses that he has are 2 dodges and maybe a Flesh Worm or Spectre Walk, but I'm not counting on it. As soon as he leaves Reaper Shroud, I engage using Reaper Shroud number 2 and cleave out using Reaper Shroud number 4. This just goes to show that proper timing helps a lot in fights and can change the turn of a fight dramatically. In this next fight, you'll see me engage upon a Deadeye who's trying to attack me from behind. I managed to hit him using axe number 3, dodge his mark, and pull him with Greatsword skill number 5. I go into Reaper Shroud and continue to damage, but he managed to evade a lot and teleports away so that I'm unable to hit him. At this point, a Hollsmith has entered the fight and I need to be more careful since I'm in a 2v1 situation. I walk into the Hollsmith's Shockwave, which was quite stupid of me, and am forced to retreat for a bit. I however have Spectre Walk ready and use Axe 3 to hit through the wall and then transfer back using Chill to the Bone. This stuns the Hollsmith and I then manage to down the enemy Deadeye using Greatsword number 3. Now me and my teammate are left to fight this Hollsmith. I know this Hollsmith and he's quite good and has played with Cinder and the like, so I expected him to do a juke jump over this little ledge. I however did not fall for it and managed to down him after another Reaper auto attack. In this next clip you will see the start of a PvP game. My teammates and I notice that enemies are crossing a beach, so we engage. I first open up with focus number 5, continue with axe number 2, and then use my AoE skills in order to do lots of area damage. After stunning the Scourge, I use axe number 2 to do lots of damage, and want to secure the stomp, so I attempt a Worm Stomp. This was not necessary, however, because my teammate had already stomped him. At this point, we are left to take care of this Revenant and an incoming Daredevil. I quickly pull the Daredevil and put a lot of damage into him, but he shadow steps away. My teammates luckily managed to down him later on. I then continue to chase the Revenant, damage him with focus number 5, and finish him off with Shroud number 4. I then notice the Soul Beast in the middle of the map, and quickly help my teammate by downing him using axe number 2. The Scourge has respawned, however, and attempted to res the Soul Beast, but I pull him away with Greatsword number 5. At this point, he attempts to res again, but the Soul Beast on my team gives me resistance, which means I can cleave out the down without being affected by the Scourge's conditions. This was perfect use of resistance, because by cleaving, I also managed to down the Scourge. In this next clip, I will be showcasing the importance of life force management. As you know, as Reapers, our life force depletes by 5% every second, so one needs to make sure to time life force usage effectively. What some people don't realize though is that in Shroud there are many ways to get life force. You can think of killing ambient creatures, hitting enemies with the auto attack chain, or cleaving out dead enemies to be able to get 10% life force. In this clip you can see me engaging upon a group of enemies, trebucheting a wall. I quickly pull them, use my area of effect skills, drop a Nightfall, and cleave in Reaper Shroud in order to do lots of damage. At this point, I continue auto-attacking because with Reaper Shroud auto-attack and the Quickness trait that we have, you can get lots of life force from simply hitting all your auto-attacks. This allows me to stay in Reaper Shroud for up to 20 seconds. And this is a nice demonstration of showing that hitting anything with your auto attacks is crucial to staying in Death Shroud longer. That was it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. I'm planning to do more videos of this type because it is less editing work for me and is probably a lot more valuable to the people watching so that they get an in-depth look into what is going through my mind and how I make my decisions. If you guys have any feedback or comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Again, I would like to stress that I stole this video format by a content creator called Yishis, who made these videos many years ago, primarily on Thief. I will be making more videos in the future. I have many clips lying around. Again, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, and I hope to see you guys at the next video. Thank you very much and have a nice day.